So this drama all happened 2 days ago when Mizkif, who is an extremely popular content creator on Twitch, and he also uploads his videos on other platforms like YouTube and TikTok as well, and then also a duo content creator in Tokyo Sims, who, if you have never heard of these guys before, there is a big chance that you might have seen some of their videos pop up on like your Reels page or your For You page on TikTok, as they are extremely big on Instagram, where all they basically do, they just on the streets of Japan, they just go through the streets of Japan, and all they're doing is that they just interview people. And to be honest, I've seen a lot of their videos. I actually do follow them, and I find them quite funny. But Mizkif and Tokyo Sims, they decided to film this video right here of them doing pull-ups and also other gymnastic moves on a cherry blossom tree, or a sakura as it's known in Japanese, which, if you don't know, when it comes to Japanese culture and when it comes to the sakura tree, is that it is a native tree to Japan. And this tree itself is seen as extremely sacred towards the Japanese people. As you can see right here, I searched up about like, is the cherry blossom tree sacred to Japanese culture? And as you can see right here, it says, yes, cherry blossoms, or sakura in Japanese, hold a significant place in Japanese culture and are often considered sacred, representing both the beauty of nature and then the impermanence of life, particularly within the Shinto and Buddhist traditions. And if you don't know what Shinto and Buddhism, like, Shinto is basically like a religious practice similar to Buddhism. And obviously, after this, it stirred up a lot of controversy, especially from one Japanese content creator in Keiho, where she made this tweet calling out, well, she didn't actually name them themselves, she just mentioned about the two people, but everyone knew straight away who this was. I don't know why she like kind of beat it around the bush and didn't like name them directly, because the fact that she said, like, I saw a video of content creators I've met before doing pull-ups and gymnastic tricks on a sakura tree branches, it's just like, you could have just come out and said their names. Everyone knew who these people were. And after this is when it kind of like started to spiral out of control and kind of like, you know, escalate a little bit more. KO herself, she actually came out on her stream and talked about this situation.
Or it doesn't mean anything that you guys talking to me about what happened. I think, though, if they want to talk about it, like if they want to invite, I only know the two creators who were in the video, but yeah, I don't know if there's like a third person who was a content creator. But if they want to talk about it, they can invite me to their channel or whatever. I think that's probably better for their, no, if they want to make things right with their audience, they can do that. I'm not going to say no, like, oh, I don't know you anymore, like, because it's not like we're friends. It's more business. And I'm pretty sure like, they have, like, I met them. I saw they were nice. Right? But I don't know them on the friendship level. I'm pretty sure they can be good friends, but yeah, I don't think I enjoy the same thing that they do. They like partying. But anyhow, if they want to talk about it on like their channel, like, with their audience, then like that's totally fine. I wouldn't say no. My channel doesn't invite really anybody. I don't really reach out to anybody for collaboration, so that's not really my style. But yeah, if they want to talk about it, if they want to talk with their fans, that's totally fine. But they can do that. It's like I think it's meaningless that their fans just come here and try to like, yeah, what's the point, seriously? And I seriously don't understand why they just keep mentioning only one name. I recognize that it's two people. I don't know the sort of person, like I said.
And in that clip as well, is that when it's come to this whole entire controversy, is that a lot of people are only really mentioning Mizkif's name, which I have a feeling that the reason why they're mentioning Mizkif a lot more, like whenever I've seen this drama come up, is that only Mizkif himself is really mentioned, and Tokyo Sims, like those guys, they aren't really mentioned all that much throughout this controversy. And the reason why I think that is because Mizkif himself, he is kind of polarizing, and he has been a lot of controversies in the past, and a lot of people don't necessarily like him. Where it comes to Tokyo Sims, they haven't gotten any controversies previously, and like, yes, they are relatively big on the internet, but they haven't been around for as long as Mizkif is. And like I said, is that when it comes to the type of content that they do, a lot of the times their content is kind of funny and it's very harmless. Where Mizkif, like I said, he's been involved in controversies in the past. He has a lot of people who just straight up don't like him. So that kind of makes sense of why people are mainly just mentioning Mizkif in this whole entire situation and not really mentioning Tokyo Sims at all. But when it comes to Mizkif and Tokyo Sims saying anything about this situation, both of them have come out on Twitter and made a statement about this. And I will say this right now is that Mizkif, you don't need to write that much. Like you really don't. Like it's great that you're going through everything and that you're like, you're saying that to any of these people and to these people and to that. And I understand that Japanese culture, because when it comes to Japanese culture, a lot of things are very sacred to them. And when you're going into someone else's country as well, whenever they find anything sacred, you can say like, oh, I think that them finding that thing in their country sacred. It's like, but you're going into a foreign country. You know what I mean? It's like cherry blossom trees or sakura. They're very, very sacred in Japan. And you can think that that's dumb, but it doesn't mean they should go ahead and hang off it and start doing pull-ups on it. Like, it doesn't give you the right to go ahead into someone else's country and do whatever the hell you want. But you don't need to go through all of that. All you can do is that you just need to say, hey guys, I know about the video that we posted. I deleted it. It's really dumb of what I did. I disrespected Japanese culture, and I'm extremely sorry for doing so. And I'm sorry for that I offended anyone. You don't need to go ahead and write 10 million fucking paragraphs over it. But this is also escalated, and I'm not going to show these clips because there are a few more clips, but I'm just going to go over them and show like the screenshots of the tweets that have quotes in them themselves from these clips, where apparently, and I'm putting emphasis on apparently because there is an update on this, is that supposedly Mizkif sent some angry Discord messages towards Keiho in regards to this backlash that he has been getting because of what she's been saying about Mizkif and about the video and about this whole entire situation, right? And supposedly the messages themselves, so the messages do exist, but we don't really know themselves of what is exactly on the messages. Like, she is reading off her phone in these clips, but this is a quote itself from the Discord messages supposedly that KO is saying, where it says, now I have Johnny Somali accounts on me. You don't realize what you're doing, what you've done to me. Please leave me alone, which I find quite funny for the fact that, Mizkif is kind of making it all about him. It's just like, bro, you messed up. You got to live with the fact that you are going to get some backlash about this. And then also as well is that apparently Keiho has been getting some backlash from the Mizkif community, which is kind of ridiculous. I mean, like, if you are a fan of Mizkif, you got to admit that he's in the wrong. And I think that Keiho has every right to call him out for this kind of behavior. Now, you're going to ask me about, like, if these messages are real, because I did mention about him being apparently. It's because this is from a Mizkif's updates page themselves, where apparently the Mizkif did not send any messages shitting on Keiho, that apparently it was only about the now I have Johnny Somali accounts on me, and there was no, like, aggressive messages towards her. But I still think that him making it all about him and talking about how, like, oh, I have these people coming out for me and all that kind of stuff, it's just like, listen, it's bad that you do have these people coming after you. Like, obviously, like me, I'm making a video, but I'm not here to, like, fully attack Mizkif. Obviously, he did something wrong, and he needs to own up for it, which he did. But, like, going out of your way to attack him and, like, message him directly is absolutely stupid. But it's just like, you are in the wrong here, bro. You are in the wrong. And then she's also claiming that people from your community are going out of their way and attacking her, which I don't see why they would. It's just like, he was the one in the wrong. She has every right to call him out for his behavior. And then there's also been typical live stream fails. I mean, these guys have been very infamous for hiding a lot of OTK drama. And I've mentioned it many, many times in the past. I've been a massive fan of OTK. Huge fan of them. I watch a lot of their content. I was a massive fan. I'm still a fan of Asmongold, even though he's left now. I've watched Mizkif's content in the past. I watch Emaru every once in a while. NMP LOL, I've watched him in the past. Extra Emily, I've watched her here and there. So, like, I've consumed their content, and I think they make great content. But the fact that, like, stuff like this, it's getting removed. Apparently, it's because it wasn't a clip. But I mean, there was so much engagement on this post itself that it's just kind of like, I don't see why something like this should be removed. But obviously, even though it wasn't a clip, it's just kind of like, it's a bit of a gray area, if you know what I mean. So, like I said, this whole entire situation is a bit of a mess. But to summarize it up and to put it in my words of what I think about this whole entire situation is that Mizkif and Tokyo Sims themselves, they were completely in the wrong for all this. I definitely think that them going ahead and doing this, especially Tokyo Sims, like these guys make content in Japan. You would think that they would fucking know better, but they still went ahead and did these actions. But regardless of that, is that they disrespected Japanese culture. I think that KO calling them out for this, she has every right to do so. She is a Japanese citizen. She was born there. She lives there. She's you know, like I said, she's a Japanese person. And I think that Mizkif, even though apparently it wasn't necessarily, the messages weren't him shitting on her necessarily, I think that him messaging her is kind of stupid anyways. Like, if you're gonna message her or anything, just be like, hey, listen, I know you're calling me out on this and I just want to say I'm sorry and that's it. Don't make it all about you. Like, that's why a lot of people don't like Mizkif, is because a lot of the times in the past, he makes it all about him. He's just like, me, 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 me. It's just like, bro, we know you're getting shit on, but it's not about you. You fucked up. Of course, hate's going to come your way. Not saying that it should. It never should to anyone, you know, especially directly. But the thing is that you messed up. She had every right to call you out for this because you disrespected someone else's culture. And that's it from that. That's all it is. But yeah, this whole entire situation, it kind of like, it started off as like a, damn, Mizkif and Tokyo Sims, they kind of messed up. And then it just kind of spiraled as a lot of, like, I mean, let's be honest. This is how a lot of streamer drama goes. Every single time there's like any type of streamer drama, content creator drama, that's all it is. It starts off as someone messing up, someone doing something that's stupid, and then it just spirals out of control. But I will say this before I end my video, is that people like Mizkif, right? Obviously, he's not like the worst. A lot of people have done a lot more worse in Japan. A lot more. We know about Johnny Somali, and we obviously know about, you know, the OG Logan Paul when it comes to doing dumb stuff in Japan. But all this is going to do is that it's going to make Japanese people and the Japanese government see foreigners disrespecting their culture, and it's just going to make it harder for people like me, because I want to go and visit Japan one day, and when I go there, I'm going to do my absolute best to respect the culture in every single way. It's going to make people like that who just want to actually go there and experience Japanese culture extremely difficult to get into the country. Extremely fucking difficult, and it's going to make Japanese people hate foreigners even more than they already do. Because if you don't know, Japanese people severely hate foreigners. But I would definitely like to hear what you guys think about all this down below. That is going to be it from me. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Peace out.